Welcome to the Will Cramer Show, your go-to podcast with local football and basketball, including the Indiana Northern State Conference, Northern Indiana Conference, and Northern Lakes Conference, plus teams in St. Joseph and Elkhart counties. Let's start with topic number one, Elkhart, Mariyon and Carmine Orozco, Division I commitments. Both recently made their commitments to play college football. Mariyon committed to the University of Tennessee, Carmine to Miami of Ohio University. Guys, welcome to the Will Cramer Show.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
You know, everyone has a unique story to tell, and I think both of you have taken different paths to where you are today. And I want to start with Mariyon first. You know, Tennessee Volunteers, they've won 6 national titles in their history, most recently in 1997. They play in arguably the best football conference in the nation. To get to this point, there had to be a process and a journey. And can you talk about what was that like?
It was really just the relationship I had built with the coaches, how the coaches treated me and my family since day one. And that was really the first big school to really offer me. So they been showing interest like before everybody else. So it was just like, I feel like it was always meant to be honest.
Carmine, Miami of Ohio, they've won 23 conference titles, 19 of those outright. You obviously just committed to them. What was the journey like to get to that point?
Ever since Coach Brown off, he been showing love every day. He called me all the time, check up on me all the time. They treated me well, my family well. They showed a lot of love when I went down there. I liked it a lot. The facilities, the coaching staff. I like the players, the recruiters, all that. They showed mad love there.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm sure both of you have people that you would like to thank for their impact in your life. Carmine, let's start with you. Who would you say has helped you along your journey?
My mother and my older brother, ever since day one, put me in multiple sports, working out a lot, doing a lot of things on the side, helping my family. But them two really pushed me to where I'm at today.
That's pretty cool. Mariyon, how about you?
I would say my mom, my uncle Deontay, and my head coach, Coach Curry.
Let's do a quick round of rapid fire. Which team are you most looking forward to playing this season?
Concord game 1.
Concord.
Okay. And name one team goal and one personal goal that you're trying to accomplish this year.
Win the state championship and break the sack record in Elkhart history.
Win a state championship and be all-time have the most sacks in state.
Okay, all right, great. Best quote from Coach Curry so far?
Get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a great one. What's your favorite food?
Chicken Alfredo.
Wings.
Okay, you know, can't go around there. So thank you again for hopping on Will Cramer Show.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Well, let's move on to topic number 2, football program update. Adams Eagles. I've got Coach Karcheski entering his 3rd year with the Eagles. Coach, welcome back to the Will Cramer Show.
Hey, thanks, Will. Thanks for having me, man.
So let's start with recruiting. Anybody from your 2024 class who's now going to be playing college football?
We have a player for sure going North Park in Chicago, Christian Bryce. We have 3 players that are taking a jump out to California to play at Orange Coast Community College. Justin McDonald, Cam Brown, and Mariyon Cathy. Really excited for them to take a new opportunity, a new life jump, and do something. I moved out to Orange County myself after college, so I kind of that shared excitement for doing something brand new in California. So I'm really happy for them trying that out. And then we have another player that's going to attempt to walk on, Braylon Williams at Indiana State. He'll be attending.
Awesome. How about your 2025 class and beyond? Who should be getting college looks for the next level?
Yeah, start with our senior class in 2025. David Hayo's a really, really talented athlete for us. Kind of plays a multitude of positions. Played his sophomore year as a defensive lineman. Last year played a little running back, safety. This year playing a little linebacker, tight end. He kind of will move all over the field. Is willing to do what we ask. High IQ player, high GPA kid. So kind of has a few more college opportunities than a player with a lower GPA. Because of that, takes high level classes at Adams too. So he's really well positioned to be a good college athlete. Quincy Toto is another senior who's coming back, has played a lot for us, played mostly receiver and DB, played a little running back this year for us too. As far as the senior class, those are the two that have expressed the most interest playing college ball. High GPA kids that have the chance to really get some good looks and opportunities. Then overall that senior class is pretty small for us, but we've got 26s and 27s we're really excited about, that kind of have a little bit more natural measurables that some college coaches are looking for, particularly in our sophomore class right now. Just some longer athletic kids that are running track and putting up impressive high jump sprint numbers. And so we think they'll develop into pretty good college players, particularly Carson Bryce, Leighton Presbendowski, Tayshawn King, and there's a number of other kids in that class that I think are really good.
So let's look at your off-season workouts. How have they been going? Who's standing out?
Yeah, I think this off-season we've kind of spent June as a heavy conditioning and 7-on-7 month. We played a couple of competitions, but we haven't put on the pads yet. We're saving those all for July. So seeing who's kind of been willing to step up and be in shape and lead vocally. Cash Holy Cross for us is a junior offensive lineman who has stepped up vocally and does all the little things that we ask. And leadership wise, for being a junior, we think he's really impressive. Other leaders, within that sophomore and junior class, we think have some pretty good leaders. Anthony Gooby and Kane Goddard are both battling out for the quarterback position. We think they both communicate really well with their teammates and are liked and respected by their teammates, which is big for us. Some receivers stood out in 7-on-7. Khalil Kimbrough has had a really good offseason. He might not have. He did not play any varsity snaps for us last year, but we think he's going to play a lot of varsity snaps for us this year. Caden Hurstel's another junior receiver that had some really good 7-on-7 performances and only had a few snaps as a sophomore last year, but we think he's going to take on a big role and have a pretty good year.
Which position battles do you anticipate will heat up as you continue to move on in the offseason?
Hopefully every single one. I mean, we want a competition across the board. We replace a number of starters. We're changing a little bit what we do. We're moving some people around that were starters at different spots last year. So we really think every position can be an open competition. Quarterback certainly is, all across the offensive line. There's going to be some competition. Defensively, we probably return more starters and people that have had playing time. But again, like I said, we could be moving people around a little bit to best fit our needs. So we hope there's truly competition at every single spot.
Look at some of the key summer events. I know June's already gone, but talk about what you did in June that was important to you and what's going to happen the rest of the summer.
Yeah, I think for us in June, kind of the team camaraderie, relationship building is huge for us. We did a couple of 7-on-7 tournaments, which they're not real football at all. Taking a ton out of the results of it really isn't worth it, whether you win or lose. But kind of the relationships you build, the resilience that you find in kids during those, I think, especially because they're so long. And we did one in Mooresville where we were out in the sun the entire time, and that was just so good for our kids to have to battle through that heat, battle through that adversity, and see what you got left in the tank. So I really enjoyed being a part of that. We'll do a few 11-on-11 scrimmages in July that we're looking forward to as well. Just shows you some really good Indiana coaches that want to get together and improve over the offseason. And I think, we're lucky that teams want to do that.
So any coaching staff changes, either guys that left or you brought on, or maybe shifting within the program here? Yeah,
there's been quite a bit. South Bend over the last couple of years kind of changed the way that they've paid out their number of paid coaches. And so it's been really, really tough to fill some things or to make some changes and kind of take some roles away from people. And but I think the people that we have on board are really positive and really great with the kids, and have some good varsity high school coaching experience, coaching on both sides of the ball. So we're excited about where our coaching staff is overall.
Let's look at your 2024 schedule real quick. You started off the season August 23rd at Culver Academy, and then you finish out August at home against Logansport, the Berries, and then you have 2 more home games to start September against Mariyon and New Prairie, and then you go on the road to St. Joe, back home against Penn to finish out September, and then on the road to Washington, a city game, and then back home against Riley, and then on the road the last game of the season at Elkhart. So as you look at your schedule there, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think I love the way that our schedule is kind of. We've got our 2 long trips at the week 1 and week 9, and then 7 weeks in a row. We kind of can stay sort of on the same schedule. It's all at Schoolfield or at St. Joe, which is really, really easy for us to take a trip on a bus for 3 minutes at most, either place. And so I'm glad we can kind of have that same schedule and not have to worry about getting kids out of school early or having to take a longer bus ride and figure out what the logistics are going to be. So excited about that. Our non-conference games, I love that Culver and Logansport, 2 battles that we had last year. Love starting out with both of those teams because they're well coached, tough, gritty teams that kind of get us ready for the meat grinder of the NIC. I love also that we've got our city games a little bit later in the year, playing against Riley and Washington, because I think that just keeps the enthusiasm in the program going. The excitement of playing kids that you played up with or you grew up playing against, and personally from that level, I think our kids love that. And then the NIC, there's not really any easy games at all, but when we look at our sectional, we got a kind of a weird draw. We go down to Lafayette and Kokomo, and none of those teams are bad either. So we're excited just to week in and week out have tough teams that we play that are going to prepare us for what 5A football is in the playoffs, which is good quality football.
Yeah, absolutely. And also McCutcheon's in there as well, sectional 12. So that'll be an intriguing matchup there with teams that are kind of unfamiliar with because you don't play them that much historically in the regular season. So,
right.
Well, I'm excited for South Bend Adams Eagles football and to see what you guys do in the 3rd year of the Karcheski era. And again, Coach, thanks for hopping on to give us an update on your program.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. Thanks for all you do for high school sports in the area. It's awesome for our kids and our community.
Topic number 3, way too early boys basketball top 10. Now, back in March, I did the way too early basketball top 10, and a lot has happened since then. Transfers, roster turnover, injuries, June games. With June ball wrapped up, it's time to reveal the 2nd edition of the way too early top 10. Honorable mention, Tippecanoe Valley. Last year they were 16-9. Key losses: shooting guard 6'5" Riley Shepard, committed to Huntington University. 6'6" center Kyler Johnson, committed to Mariyon University to play football. Key returners: junior 6'6" power forward Stephen Acase, averaged nearly a double-double last year, 63% from twos. Senior 6-foot guard Ian Cooksey, 40% three-point shooter. Stephen and Ian have continued to improve. 6'3" senior Blaine Sheets has had a very strong summer, maybe the best summer of all the players. Junior Davis Cohen, 5'10" point guard, and senior DeAndre Hamilton, 6'2", will both look to extend their roles this season. Now, the Vikings had a very strong JV season. They went 15-7. Tippecanoe Valley will be a contender to win the INSC. Sectional 20 will be tough, though, with Northwood and Columbia City. Goshen, 10-13, 2-5 in the NLC. Key losses: 6'4" shooting guard Gage Worthman, who was NLC first team selection. 6'7" center Ryan Eldridge, Ball State commit for football. Key returners include 6'2" junior guard Levi Sawatsky, 38% three-point shooter, NLC honorable mention. Also 5'11" junior guard Braxton Klein. Goshen has a great coaching staff. Levi and Braxton will lead the Red Hawks in scoring this year. Supporting cast will include juniors Carter Markham and Evan Timmons, Isaiah Wishwap, and Ryan Diaz. Both will contribute to the varsity. Levi and Klein had a great summer scoring-wise. Markham was big on the glass. I think for Goshen, anything above a 500 record and playing competitively in the sectional is probably going to be a good season for Goshen. Jimtown also made the honorable mention. Last year they were 13-11 overall, 6-5 in their last season of the NIC. Key losses include 6'4" forward Bishop Williams, going to be attending University of Indianapolis for football. 5'11" guard Jackson Clapton, who will be attending DePaul University for both football and basketball. Key returners are 6'3" senior shooting guard Dylan Fay, shot 39% behind the arc. He was NIC honorable mention, getting interest from small colleges. Also a key returner for the Jimmies, 6'6" senior Brandon King, NIC honorable mention. Now, Jimtown returns their core nucleus. King and Fay will lead, but Javen Jackson and Will Spurgeon will play big roles as well. King is a bit of a late bloomer, should have a breakout year. Javen is an athletic guard, can attack downhill, get to the basket. Will probably has had one of the better summers on the team so far in regards to his development. The question mark for the Jimmies is going to be their depth. If Jimtown can stay healthy and develop more depth, then not only can they compete in their new conference, but I also think they'll be contenders in their sectional 34. Adams, 10-14 overall last year, 6-5 in the NIC. Key losses were point guard, shooting guard, 6'1" Amari Wesson, NIC honorable mention. Key returners, junior shooting guard Jarvis Tolbert, who averaged 19 points per game last year. He was NIC first team and All-State honorable mention. Adams has two transfers in 6'3" junior Tofik Azar and 6' senior Kalen Allen. Both kind of came late towards the end of June, but both will see varsity minutes this coming season. Carter Johnston, the coach's son, will be a starter as well. I think the question for Adams is, how good will the supporting cast be around Jarvis? Jarvis is a proven returner. The question for Adams is, how good will the supporting cast be around Jarvis? Now it's time to reveal my way too early top 10. Let's start with number 10, Mishawaka. Last year they were 20-8, 5-2 in the NLC, co-title champs, semi-state finalists. Key losses include Brady Fisher, who was NLC first teamer, Indiana All-State honorable mention selection, Cooper Pritchett, NLC first team, Rashawn Johnson, NLC honorable mention. Key returners for the Cavemen, senior 6' guard Jackson Snyder, who currently holds an offer from Bethel College to play football. Mishawaka graduated a lot of their scoring, and Jackson will need to take on a bigger role offensively. These players look good at times this summer, including Landon Johns, Spencer Weston, and Landon Snyder. Coach Bender is a terrific coach, and he's going to get the most out of what he has to work with. His switching defense can be difficult for teams to adjust their offense to, and Mishawaka plays very smart on the offensive end, especially with shot selection. I don't think this will be a reload year, but I think that Mishawaka, as a varsity program, can absorb a rebuilding year better than probably most other programs. And I would be shocked if they fell to the bottom of the NLC this year. Number 9, Mariyon. 17-9 overall, 10-1 NIC co-champs last year. Key losses include Zion Rose, committed to Glen Oaks Community College, sharpshooter Jackson Horvath. Key returners, senior 6'3" William Deuce Owens. He was NIC second team last year. And also key returner, senior Patson Sullivan, NIC honorable mention. Owens and Sullivan are driving this bus. Both can get downhill quickly. Patson is a bit more crafty, whereas Owens will straight up power through due to his body's strength. Preston Horvath provides an inside presence in Coach Berger's famous 2-3 zone defense. Horvath can get you 10 points simply through putbacks and dump downs. Shooting the ball from the perimeter is a concern going into next season. Now, I did see Marion play at the Charlie Hughes, and they're a guard-heavy team, which means that you will probably see more pressure than you're used to seeing, especially on the ball and one pass away, denials. Brandon Foster will be asked to score more for the Knights. Marion will be smaller than we're used to seeing in the past decade, but that just simply means speed will be used to get after the opposing teams. Coach Berger is obviously an excellent coach, and Marion should be very competitive in the NIC once again, and a tough out in sectional 19. At number 8, Concord. 18-5 overall last year, 5-2 in the NLC co-champs. Key losses, Braden Messenger, who is going to St. Francis to play basketball. Jalen Bolin, NLC all-conference member. Key returners are senior 6-foot point guard, shooting guard Lucas Prue, NLC honorable mention. Junior 5'8" guard Therese Brevard, junior 6'3" Bo Brunner, and senior 5'10" shooting guard Jake Deshawn. Lucas will be Concord's best scorer. Surrounding him is athletic guard Therese. He's primarily a football player playing basketball, but his basketball skill set has improved, and his defensive tenacity on pressure is very good. Bo Brunner is an all-around solid player, strong guard, plays smart. The JV team had a solid year, going 17-4. Coach Deshawn, the NLC co-coach of the year, is one of the best in our area. Concord will always be physically tough under Coach Deshawn. They take after their head coach there. The offense is predicated on being smart and patient and making the right reads in their opening concept. The system at Concord and the feeder program is bearing fruit, as you can tell last year, and we'll see down the road. Concord as a program is in a stable position, and they should be consistently solid moving forward. Now that they had success last year, the target is on their back. It's different when you go from being the hunter to the hunted. It'll be very interesting to see how Concord makes that adjustment. Can Concord sustain last year's success? 18 wins will be a tough task to duplicate, but they should finish in the upper half of the difficult NLC. At number 7, the South Bend Washington Panthers. They went 10-13 last year and 6-5 in the NIC. Key losses include 6'1" guard Donovan Johnson. Key returners, junior 6'6" shooting guard Stephen Reynolds III. NIC first team, Indiana All-State underclass of 2015. Top 100 USA basketball minicamp, who has multiple D1 offers. Sophomore 5'10" guard DeCorey Parker shot 42% last year from behind the arc. NIC second team selection member and All-State honorable mention, as well as top 100 workout. Junior 5'9" Josh Johnson. Newcomers, sophomore shooting guard 6 foot Keelan Webster, the transfer from Clay, who shot 39% for the Colonials last year. Washington arguably has the best player in our local area. Last year's Washington team went as Stephen went. If Stephen was good, Washington was good, and vice versa. This year, Washington needs to show that they can still win when Stephen's not playing well, which means the supporting cast needs to be better. Now, DeCorey Parker will be the number 2 scorer. He's a downhill guard that can make threes. He's also very unselfish and willing passer. Josh Johnson is at his best when he's a lockdown defender on the ball and taking good shots. He is skilled, and on most other teams, he would have a bigger scoring role, but on this team, he doesn't need to do that as much, and the more he allows the game to come to him, the better Washington will be. Gabe Bergen has been injured most of his high school career, but the 6'6" forward, if he can stay healthy, that is, will be a force to reckon with inside and outside. He's a perimeter shooter that can also play in the post if needed. Role player Mike Stuckey is another player to keep an eye on as he continues to progress and get better. He had a good June, and he's looking forward to having a good July at AAU. Newcomer Keelan Webster will be adding additional shooting. The Panthers do have a challenging non-conference slate, including games against Crown Point, Maryville, Valparaiso, Lake Central, and Northridge, to name a few. Washington should be a factor in the NIC race and a threat in the sectional. Number 6, the Penn Kingsmen. Last year they went 18-7, 9-2 in the NIC. Key losses include Maverick Brown, NIC second team member, All-State honorable mention, committed to Taylor University for football. Sharpshooter Trey Miller, NIC honorable mention, and athletic guard Dominic Bonner, NIC honorable mention, who holds offers from Albion College, a D3 school, and a couple of schools for football. Key returners: senior 6'3" shooting guard Alexander Hawthorne, a three-point specialist. Sophomore 6'6" shooting guard Peyton Miamba can score on all three levels, and he's really barely scratched the surface of his potential. And senior 5'10" point guard Ethan Good, a very solid floor general. Newcomers: freshman 6'3" shooting guard Caleb Kuhlman had a terrific 8th grade season. He's a high quality IQ guy that can shoot the lights out of the ball. He led the team in scoring at Charlie Hughes. Will start varsity as a freshman. Senior 6'7" John Bedient, long, lengthy, good rebounder, plays within himself, won't try to do too much, very smart. Sophomore 6'7" power forward Christian Bonner, wide base, strong, powerful, quick, big, can guard multiple spots. Smart player that doesn't try to do too much, but is effective at what he does. Forward Mikhail Price and Lucas Obermeyer will be in the midst for varsity minutes. Mikhail is a good rebounder, screener, and can score inside. Lucas can make threes and is a willing passer. And of course, junior point guard Ben Murphy will also be in the midst for varsity minutes. Penn went 18-1 during June ball, but the schedule wasn't that strong, although they did play a couple of teams that were pretty good. Penn should contend for the NIC title and be in the midst for sectional 3. This summer, teams that pressured Penn gave them fits, and how Penn handles defensive pressure will determine probably how successful they are down the road. Penn is relatively still young, so it will be interesting to see how they grow from now until they start playing games in November. At number 5, we got the Riley Wildcats. Last year, they were 21-5, 10-1 in the NIC. They were co-title champs. Key losses include Peyton Beard, who is now going to Bethel University to play basketball. Mansell Hill, Aiden Kent, who is attending Kalamazoo Valley Community College, which is one of the better community colleges in the general area. Montreal Northern, and key returners: senior 5'8" shooting guard Marvin Schindler, NIC second team, IBCA Top 100 workout. Senior 5'9" guard Jalen Barbera, senior 6'2" guard Brandon Williams, senior 5'7" guard Keyshawn Wright, and newcomer junior shooting guard 5'11" Tyrese Jones, transferred from Clay, NIC first team. Now with Tyrese, a proven scorer, and Marvin Schindler, Riley has something to build around between those two guys, Tyrese and Marvin. Jalen, Brandon, and Keyshawn will need to take on larger roles this year, and junior shooting guard 6'3" Isaiah Packer is another name to watch out for. He had to deal with an injury in the offseason, but he should be ready to go for the preseason. Riley should contend for both the NIC and Sectional 3. And obviously, with the addition of Tyrese Jones, Riley has moved up a few spots in these rankings. At number 4, the Northwood Panthers. Last year they were 15-9, 4-3 in the conference play. Key losses: Ethan Wolf, NLC first team, Indiana All-State honorable mention, and he currently holds multiple offers from Indiana and D3 schools. Key returners: senior 6'8" forward Tyler Rosh, nearly averaged a double-double last year, probably will average a double-double this year. NLC first team, Indiana All-State, multiple NAIA offers. Losing Ethan Wolf left a big hole in the guard group, but thanks to the transfer of Maddox and Miles Everham, has made that hole less deep. Maddox and Miles were contributors on the varsity level at Wabasee last year, and their ability to score, especially from the perimeter, will open things up for Tyler and Mason Pearson at 6'6" center. Another player to watch out for is junior guard Colin Dietzman. Mason and Colin are having a good summer, showcasing their ability to score and defend and rebound. Northwood moved up 6 spots. They are now legitimate contenders in not only the NLC, but also Sectional 20. At number 3, the Warsaw Tigers. Last year they were 19-6 overall, 4-3 regional finalists. Key losses include Luke Yeager, who's committed to play at Olivet Nazarene University. Key returners: senior 6'4" shooting guard Luke Breaker, shot 43% from behind the arc. Indiana All-State NLC first team and committed to play at Grace College. Senior 6'3" guard Brant Martin, 43% three-point shooter last year. Indiana All-State honorable mention, NLC first team, top 100 workout. Senior 6'3" guard Robbie Finlinson, a 46% three-point field goal shooter last year. Expectations will be high entering the season. Over 85% of the scoring is returning. And on top of that, their JV went 17-4. Breaker, Martin, Finlinson all can shoot the ball well from 3. Carson Gold is a lockdown defender and willing passer. And senior 6'3" shooting forward Drew Sullivan will have an impact next year as well. Sophomore 5'10" point guard Sam Lehrer has been impressive lately and is a name to watch. Warsaw played a tough summer schedule with mixed results. You may not know this, but Warsaw is actually in their second longest drought without winning a regional title in the modern era. Now, last year they won a sectional for the first time since 2017. However, Tiger fans will be wanting more this season, especially with so much offense coming back, and how Warsaw handles that pressure will determine largely how successful they can be. At number 2, the Northridge Raiders, 18-6 overall. They were 5-2 NLC co-champs. Key losses: key returners, senior 6'2" shooting guard Mason Bales, NLC first teamer, offered by Bethel and Goshen. Junior 6'8" center Brady Scholl, NLC first team. Senior 5'10" point guard Cam Radiker. Junior 6'1" guard Hayden Johnson. Now, Mason Bales played very well at Charlie Hughes, probably helped his recruiting stock. Brady Scholl will be one of the better skilled big men in our area, and Cam has gotten better at the point. Hayden and Gideon are solid supporting guards. Northridge beat Avon this summer. Avon also beat Penn. Northridge also beat a very impressive win against North Central at Charlie Hughes, and I think those wins kind of open up eyes throughout the state. With everyone returning for the NLC champions, the stakes will be high this season. Expectations will be to repeat as NLC champs and make a deep tournament run. The Madhouse will be rocking as both the girls and boys teams should be really good this year. And finally, number 1, St. Joe Huskies. Last year they were 20-10 overall, 8-3 in the NIC. They made it to the 3A state finals. Key losses included Jace Lee, who was an Indiana All-State member, NIC second team, committed to play Notre Dame baseball next year. Key returners: senior 6'4" shooting guard Chase Konesi, Indiana All-State NIC first team. Sophomore 6'2" guard Elijah King, and junior 6'4" guard Nick Shrewsbury. Junior 6'2" forward Braylon White. Senior 6'1" forward Brashawn Woods. Key newcomers to the squad are sophomore 5'9" combo guard Easton McFarland, junior 6'4" Jonah McGuire, junior 6-foot shooting guard forward Austin Radigan, and senior 6'3" center Luke Trenter. All four of those were JV guys who will look to get some minutes on the varsity level. St. Joe is returning 3 players that are shooting 35% or higher from threes. That would be Chase, Elijah, and Nick. Now, Nick Shrewsbury and Elijah King are really ready to have a breakout season, and I think both will. Braylon White and Brashawn Woods are as solid role players as you will find. And this roster, folks, is very capable of another deep run in the tournament. Everyone had a taste of that state finals experience, and I think this team will be on a mission to get back there for another shot at a blue ring. Now that I have finished my way too early top 10, which teams got snubbed? Which team is too high? Too low? Let me know what you think in the comments section on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. You can also email me. Now that concludes episode 95. I want to thank you for listening to the Will Cramer Show. If you are enjoying my podcast, I would love for you to rate and share my podcast. Leave a review. It will help me out. You can follow the Will Cramer Show on X at Will Cramer Show, on Instagram at The Will Cramer Show, on YouTube at Will Cramer Show. Tune in next time for more local high school football and basketball.